Welcome to another edition of the Jerry Ratcliffe Show, and we welcome all you people that are watching on YouTube and also listening on your favorite platforms for podcasts. We're just about anywhere on the planet that you can listen to a podcast. And obviously you can listen to us and watch us on jerryratcliffe.com, the number one site for Cavalier fans. And before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors, Roback with the nifty little dog logo here. It's a Charlottesville-based company, one of the fastest growing sportswear companies in the United States. And also the Aberdeen Barn, one of Virginia's finest steakhouse. And also the Good Feet people over at Stonefield Shopping Center, who can make walking and running a much more comfortable act for you. Whether you have discomfort walking or running, they design special arches for each person's foot, and you need to go by and see them. Thank those sponsors if you happen to wander into their stores and or order their products for bringing us to you a couple times a week. Thank you very much. Now we're going to welcome in our special guest for today. A big name in the recruiting basketball world, and obviously someone who has the Wahoo Nation very excited about his upcoming presence in Charlottesville. And we're talking about 6'4" point guard Christian Bliss from Queens, New York. Christian, welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I know you had like you said, you had an early workout this morning in the city. What time did your workout start?
I started at 7.
Yeah, you're an early riser, man.
Yeah. Kind of like to get my workouts in as early as possible, so I have the day to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a wise plan. For those of you who've been following Christian's recruiting, he started out at Archbishop Malloy in high school, and I guess he transferred to George School in Pennsylvania. And the recent news about Christian is that he has decided to reclassify to the current class, and which allows him to enroll at Virginia this coming season and be part of this team. Although you plan on taking a redshirt year to develop your game and your body, is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Let's talk about that a little bit, Christian. What went into your decision to do that? A lot of guys would have just said, "Oh, well, I'll play my senior year in high school and then worry about it." But I think it's a pretty wise decision on your part to go ahead and join the program that you already knew you wanted to be part of and develop uh, your body and your game. Just talk a little bit about that decision.
I think it kind of started after my visit. After really all my visits, I kind of just sort of the facilities, the resources that all these schools had for me. And then I kind of thought about it a little bit more. But I think the one that stuck out about Virginia when I went there was the plan they had for me. They broke down my film, they broke down my weaknesses and showed me like what they think they can get me better at. And once I saw that, I kind of just thought like it would make sense to go a year earlier so I could start working on these things with the resources and the people they have in order to prepare me to help me play and be an impact player early on, which is what one of my goals is to play at as an underclassman and help the team win.
I'm sure you got to know Coach Curtis, Mike Curtis, very well. He played at Virginia and went on and became a strength and conditioning coach in the NBA before joining Tony Bennett's program. What impressed you about Coach Curtis?
He was really impressive. I mean, everything for him is down to the science, and his all his information is based off facts. So I feel like someone like that is easy to trust. I got to know him well on my visit. We sat down, we talked, just explained to me how he does things. what he would do when I get here and things like that. So I'm definitely excited to help to just allow him to help me transform my body into a new player. And I feel like that is one of my weak points right now is just my body and just getting stronger and getting ready to play at the college level because the physicality is different there.
Yeah, you're right. And ACC is a pretty physical league, and Coach Curtis has worked wonders with guys and over the length of his career. There's no question about that. Um, let's talk about your recruitment a little bit. Virginia made you its number one recruiting target for the next class, obviously, but you advanced that a little bit. But how did that start? What do you think you did to convince Tony Bennett and Virginia that they should go hard after you?
I think it's my character, my habits, things like that. I think that translates to every level. Who I am as a person kind of just shows on the court. I'm a good person, a high character player, pretty smart on and off the court. So I think I just played the right way. And when you have all those intangibles, I feel like that's something that translates to every level, and that's what I have.
For Virginia fans that haven't had the pleasure of watching you play, just talk a little bit about your game and what you're going to bring to the table.
I'm a point guard, just a really good playmaker. I can pass it really well. I can score the ball at all three levels. And most of all, I think I'm a leader and a winner. Everywhere I go, I win. And I lead my team. I lead my teammates. I just get them better, push them every day because I'm a hard worker. So that's something that you're going to get. And the future is bright. I think you have a good young core. I don't know them too well just yet, but I'm excited to get to campus and meet the freshmen because that's the class I'm going to be coming in with. But I've heard great things about them, and I'm excited to just build this young core of Virginia.
For all you Wahoo fans out there watching, that if that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. But Christian's a great addition to this program. There's no question about it. Your conversations with Tony Bennett, we've heard different things from different players who have committed and guys who came here through the transfer portal. Even uh, Jordan Miner, who transferred in this past spring, uh, talked about how he and Tony were having a conversation. In the last 10 or 15 minutes of the conversation, they just started talking about Bible verses and Psalms. Uh, anything unique about like that, about sort of like that with any of your conversations with Tony?
I think his vibe is really authentic. He told me multiple times I'm gonna under promise, over deliver. Meaning he's not gonna promise me nothing, but he thinks and he believes in me. So he believes that I'm gonna earn everything that I want. And I think that really kind of stood out to me. He didn't really promise me nothing, which is a good thing for me because at the end of the day, you have to go and work for everything. And that's something that I want. I don't want anyone to be promised anything. And I kind of just felt that authentic vibe. He's just a very like a calm person. I like his personality a lot. But I think I mentioned this to someone else, but I think like when we went to his house for dinner, and we were playing ping pong, I kind of just saw the competitive spirit in him. And that kind of just like it opened my eyes because he's such a good person. And then once he got in that mode, he kind of locked in. And I was like, okay, I see it now. Like this is who I want to play for, kind of thing. So I guess that ping pong game really opened my eyes a lot. I don't even know if he knows that or not, but I kind of just saw it like I don't even know what I said, but he didn't even hear me. Like, and we were right next to each other. So I was like, all right, this guy's locked in. And if this is ping pong, then for basketball, he's definitely going to be locked in. So that kind of just, I like that. Something about that I kind of just gravitated towards. So that's something that kind of stood out to me.
You're a very perceptive young man. I tell you, he is an intense competitor. He hates to lose at anything, tic tacs or you name it, whatever. I think one of his assistant coaches said one time they were playing pickup basketball, and as much as they love each other, they almost got in a fist fight just because
Mhm.
he was such an intense competitor. And uh, I know when he plays golf, he gets very intense. Ping pong, yeah, I can see that too.
And he's good at ping pong too. Don't get
Is
it
he?
twisted. He's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll go after you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who won that ping pong battle? Did he
Oh,
win?
yeah, he dusted me. He dusted me. I don't know if we played more than one game. I don't even think we played more than one game because he was just better than me. I couldn't mess with him. He had everything going in that game.
Uh, he's famous for having recruits over for like barbecue dinners. Did
Yeah.
you guys have barbecue over there?
It was something catered. Kind of forgot what it was, but it was definitely good food.
Yeah, I think it's barbecue from a friend of mine who does a great job with those dinners for sure. Um, was there any one thing that Virginia did or said that convinced you that this was the place for you? Because you were highly sought after by some great basketball programs. I know you narrowed your choices down to Xavier and Villanova, Miami, and Virginia. What pushed you over the edge, other than that ping pong match, that Virginia was your home, future home?
Um, yeah, it's kind of a little difficult, but I feel like when you get somewhere, you kind of just know. Um, and I had that feeling about honestly all the schools. I really thought all of them could be home. What it was about Virginia, I don't really know. I just something was telling me that he was the right person for me. I didn't think he was gonna. I thought he would. I don't know something about him and the program, the staff. I really believe in the coaches. I'm close with Johnny, who's a really good player development guy. Obviously, he's a coach now too. But
Mhm.
something about just everyone kind of just got me the vibes that like I think this is the place that can help develop me and I can help win, which is the most important thing. Because when you win, everything else takes care of itself. So I just want to go somewhere where I think I could win and where I think that they can develop me and they're going to care about me. And it kind of just kind of checked off all three of those boxes right there, which were like three of my biggest concerns. Um, I'm not really a big like guy outside of basketball in terms of like I don't it's not like about the city or the fun or this or that. So like it wasn't the location wasn't really a big factor in my decision. So I feel like once those three boxes were checked and I kind of just liked everything about it on the visit, I thought that was the right school.
Yeah, and I know I guess your official visit this summer, you had to sit down with Ty Jerome. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What was that conversation like? It was that kind of comforting, sort of verifying all your thoughts about the place, just hearing him talk about it.
Yeah, he kind of just broke down his experience there, what he went through, what he thinks I should be prepared for. Because at the end of the day, everyone's gonna hit adversity. That's a given. So just kind of just explaining what he went through, what his relationship like was with coach, and just asking like personal questions like when things got hard, like what did you like? How did you respond? Like who did you go to? And he was just kind of breaking down to me like the staff is there for you if you call me. I mean, him and Johnny were really close. They would go over film all the time, work out, and those are the things that I want to do. I want to live in the gym, have a close relationship with my coaches, and he kind of just telling me all the things that were important to me and explained to me like what he went through, which is something that I want to do, win a national championship, and ultimately go to the NBA. And I think Virginia is a place where that can happen.
Yeah, Virginia has sent a lot of guys to the NBA in the last several years, and they've developed some really good point guards with going back to London Perrantes and Kihei Clark and Ty and Kyle Guy and some other guys. Devin Hall, sort of a guard. But how much have you studied Virginia's program or learned about their history since you've gotten interested in becoming a Cavalier? Or is that something
Um,
on the table?
yeah, I think I did. I did some studying. I don't think I did a ton because at the end of the day, I don't want to overanalyze it. I know you could look at something 10 years ago and I don't really like it, and then I form an opinion on it, but that's not the same person. Coach Bennett is not the same person he was 10 years ago. He's not doing the same thing as he did. So I tried not to look too into it, but at the same time, I did watch some stuff about these guys like Malcolm Brogdon and them. Their year, they showed me film on that, and I watched some more when I got home. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'll be able to adapt to whatever it is that I'm doing. As long as the fit is right, I think that would take care of itself. Um, I played on a lot of different teams with a lot of different styles, so I feel like style play is something that you can adapt to. It's never going to be perfect for you. You just gotta, do the best with it and make it work.
And when a lot of people don't get this kind of a royal treatment like some of the recruits do when you came in for your official visit, what's it like being recruited by a national championship program like Virginia when they roll out the red carpet for you and try to convince you that this is your future home? What was your visit like? Just what really blew you away? What did you like?
Well, first, I'm thankful for everything. I worked really hard for it, but at the end of the day, it just takes more than just yourself. So I'm thankful for my parents, my family, and all the people that helped me get there. So just on that visit, it was a good experience. Kind of just blessed to see like everything that I worked for is paying off. Obviously, schools like Virginia, Villanova, Miami, Xavier, those are all big time schools. So every one of those visits, I was definitely proud of myself for making it far. Um, but I think that the biggest thing about Virginia was the fact that they weren't going to promise you anything, and that's something that kind of stands out because a lot of these schools, when you go on the visits, they're going to tell you a couple of different things that like you can't really hold up if you don't come there and earn it. So just them not really promising me nothing kind of made me feel more comfortable, even though that kind of sounds a little weird. But just knowing that they're not going to promise anyone anything, and when you get there, everything's going to be earned, was something that was important for me because I believe I'm going to earn whatever it is and whatever role I carved out for myself. And at the end of the day, I'm here to win, and I know guys that are getting recruited here are here to do the same thing that I'm trying to do. So when you get around guys like yourself and that are going to push you, I feel like that's something that kind of just put it over the edge, and that's why I wanted to be here.
Yeah, we've been told that by several guys throughout Tony's time here is that he doesn't promise you stuff. You have to earn it, and you'd be surprised how many guys really relate to that and love that approach because they've visited other places where they've been promised starting jobs and promised this and promised that, and I think it appeals more to a guy like yourself and somebody who's driven not to be promised anything. So yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, tell us a little bit about your family, Christian.
My mom, my dad, uh, my mom is a nurse. My dad is he works in the construction field, and I have a brother who just graduated from UPenn, the business school there, so he's a really smart guy. I mean, those three, like they've really been my backbone for my whole life, really. My brother helps me with everything I do. And my parents are always there supporting me every step of the way. But they were on the visits. They were just supportive of the visit. They liked every school, and they really like Virginia too. They love the coaching staff, and they agree that that could be the place as well. But they kind of were just supportive of my decision. Didn't really try to influence me really much. They kind of just knew that I would make the best choice because they believe in me.
Yeah, well, that's great because your family's now part of the Virginia basketball family, and Wahoo Nation embraces not only the players but their families as well. So I know they're going to feel very welcome when they come down and start watching you play games because people will love them to death down here. Um, let's talk a little bit about Coach Williams, Munch Williams, your PSA Cardinals coach. I know he's an inspirational guy who really helps a lot of players develop, and it's a pretty darn good basketball program up there too. But let's
Mhm.
talk a little bit about Munch, and I know he's kind of a famous figure in the EYBL world. I think. How's he
Um,
how's he helped you?
yeah, first I got nothing but great things to say about Coach Munch. I praise him. Anyone who asks me, I think he's the best, one of the best coaches in my life. Um, I mean, his impact is way bigger than just basketball. Not only does he push you in the basketball court, he gets you better on everything in the basketball court. But outside of that is where I really appreciate him. He's just kind of turning me into a better man, a young man, preparing me for what college is going to be like, explaining to me what I should be prepared for, and just knowing that he's going to be there every step of the way for the rest of my life as well. Our relationship is bigger than just basketball, so that's someone who I would call when things are hard or when things are great. You know what I mean? But in terms of just basketball too, he helped me get a lot of stuff to where I'm at right now. Telling people like this is the guy when people weren't believing it, and just continuing to believe in me, even when I didn't play my best games. So I have nothing but great things to say about him. And if you're looking for a program, I would recommend them times 100. So that's what I got to say about him, the MPSA program.
And Virginia has offered a couple of your PSA teammates as well. I think Hodge and uh, Atkins Atkins. No, I can't remember.
He's Darius.
Darius. Yeah, yeah. Are you helping Virginia recruit at all? Are you talking to? Are you in those guys' ears, or have you talked to Con Canoopel at all?
No, I haven't spoken to Khan, but I did. Obviously I've spoken to Matt Hodge because he's my teammate. So
Yeah.
I would love for him to come, but at the end of the day, I know whatever the best decision is for him, he's going to make that. But I hope it's Virginia, and I've told him obviously like when you come here visit, I'm going to be there, and hopefully we can make that happen where he comes. But we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm his friend still, so whatever the best decision is for him, I'll support that.
I read somewhere that when you were an eighth grader, I don't know if you were at Malloy at that point or somewhere else, but I read that St. John's was so impressed with you that they sent recruiters to watch you. Is that a true story or is that just a fable?
Yeah, no, that's true. That was in ninth grade. That was my first year at
Ninth
Malloy.
grade. Okay.
Um, yeah, that was ninth grade, my freshman year.
Were you
Yep.
pretty advanced for a player early on?
Honestly, I wouldn't really say that. I think I was very good as a freshman, but I made bigger strides as like a junior, I would say. Really, yeah, I would say as a junior. I think this year was my biggest year in terms of just making strides. My coach at George School, Coach Ben Luber,
Hmm.
was has worked with me for the past 2 years, almost every day. I mean, I lived at school, so he was my trainer, my coach, my everything there because I didn't really have many other people. My family wasn't there. So I think that he really just developed me, and everything really kind of just started clicking this year for me. And when all the pieces just kind of came together, now I'm in the position I'm at, and I hope I just continue to get better the way I have been.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Coach Luber. I think he played at Penn State back in the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really good too. People don't know how good he was, but I mean, he started there for 4 years, and he played professionally after that. But he just knows the game so well, and he's just got our game to another level. So I think I'm lucky to have him, and I hope that I can still continue to work out with him, whether it was in the summer or whatever it is, because he's helped me get to the next level.
Uh, there's a legacy, I guess, among New York City point guards, and uh, I think that extends out to Queens. Is that a big deal? Do you take that seriously as being part of that group, or wanting to? We there's even a documentary out about just being a New York City point guard and how tough you have to be and and all that. Uh,
I think I hear what you're saying. I definitely take pride in being from New York City. I wouldn't necessarily I play like a typical New York City point guard. I wouldn't really say all that. Although I do have obviously the toughness. I mean, just certain things when you play in New York, when you play at the park, when you play in certain environments that every New York guard plays in, you're gonna have a certain character to you, toughness, just the way you act, the way you carry yourself. But I think a lot of like New York guards are smaller, more undersized, go to the basket, rah rah rah. I wouldn't say really that's all my game. I'm a bigger guard,
mm.
but I definitely carry that New York swagger and toughness. And I definitely play hard, and I definitely will rep New York. So I definitely like the New York guard thing that you're talking about for sure.
Yeah. Ty Jerome told us a little bit about playing in the parks up there, and it's not an easy not an easy time. But For
Yeah.
those of us in Virginia who've never experienced anything or even seen it, what's it like playing in the park? What do you have to bring to the table, or are you going to get run out of the place?
Well, I guess there's levels to it. So when you're younger, you play like a lot of games, like 4 or 5 games a day. I mean, like you go from one park to the next park to the next. The more games, the better. You're just playing random dudes, just playing pressing full court, steals, layups. That's when you're very young. And then when you get to middle school, you have like the Dykeman, the Rucker Park, things like that. Those are like the more like I guess the better park tournaments. Obviously, you still have the local park tournaments, but I mean, it's just kind of tough because you're on the concrete, you fall on the floor, you get scraped up. It's hot outside in the summer, so I mean, it's just kind of tough conditions. So if you could play in the park outside 3 or 4 games a day, I mean, I think you're ready for any environment.
Makes the
Yeah.
ACC look easy.
Right. Honestly, I don't know. I'm joking. The ACC is definitely hard to play in, but it just builds you in a tougher way and helps you prepare for uncomfortable situations, which you need to prepare for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I know we were talking before we jumped on the show that you're headed out to Portugal, I guess tomorrow for a little
Yeah.
vacation before you head into Charlottesville. When do you think you'll be in Virginia?
I think I'm gonna come like next week, late in the week. So like um anywhere between Thursday and Saturday
Yeah.
or Thursday and Sunday, because I think we class school starts Monday. So I'll try to give myself a couple of days before class starts to just get a little familiar with it. But yeah, anywhere between those couple of days. I haven't really picked a day yet, but that's what I'm looking to go.
Well, we welcome you to the South, the mid Atlantic, or a little bit of both, and hope you enjoy your time here. We're anxious to get to know you and watch you play over the next several years, and have a great vacation in Portugal, man. That sounds like
Thank
an
you. I appreciate
exciting
it.
trip.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm excited to be with the family.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking part of your day to join us and get to know Virginia fans and let them get to know you a little bit. And we appreciate you, man. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.